Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to Medinah Book 2, where we look at the grammatical analysis, and we are going to have the lessons first from the COD book, then we'll go into Medinah book to look at the use of some of the issues that we'll be looking at here. So we are going to start with inna harf tawkid wa nasbin. So this is a particle of emphasis which changes the nominal sentence into an accusative, into accusativeness. So let's have a look at that. So inna is good. Actually, it's various meanings. It can be indeed, can be verily, surely, or truly. So we can only use this particle in a nominal sentence, like jumlat al-ismiya, which means a nominal sentence, which is, remember in Arabic, we do have two types of sentences, a nominal sentence and a verbal sentence. A nominal sentence is any sentence that begins with a noun. So this is where we put in now. We cannot use it when it is a verbal sentence. Okay. It emphasizes whatever news, whatever we want to bring out, it emphasizes. So it changes the mubtada. Remember, a nominal sentence made up of a mubtada and a khabar. So it changes, it is effect to these two, the mubtada and the khabar. So it makes the mubtada, in this case the subject, into an accusative sentence. We call it mansubun. So let's analyze how inna affects a jumla ismiya when it's affected into a sentence. For the start, we have al-kitab jadidun, al-kitab jadidun. This is an example of a nominal sentence. The book is new. Al-kitab is mubtada and jadidun is khabar. I also want you to take a look at how the mubtada ends with a dhamma, which we call it is marfu'un. This is marfu'un. And jadidun, so it's marfu'un. Let's look at this sentence when inna has been brought into effect. Inna al-kitaba jadidun. Look at inna, the particle, which is harf tawkid, nasbin. Remember, it's a particle of emphasis. It emphasizes, indeed, the book is new. So al-kitaba, look at the change here, al-kitaba. So al-kitaba means, okay. But let's look at here, al-kitaba. This effect is what we are looking at. So we are looking at this change that inna has brought into this sentence. So we've changed the mubtada into ismu inna and the habarun into habarun inna. Okay. Let's look at Dama'irun muntasib. Dama'irun, which means attached to pronouns. Inna can be attached to various dama'ir or various pronouns. Let's look at that. When it is huwa, you say innahu, huma, innahuma, hum, innahum, hiya, wa innaha, huma, wa innahuma, and hunna, innahuna, anta, and you put qaf, which is innaka, antuna, antuma, when you put kumma, innakuma, intuma, antum, kum, you put qaf and mim, innakum, anti, you put qaf, kasra, innaki, innak, antuma, it's just the same, kuma, innakuma, right, and tuna, we put kunna, this is innakunna, Anna, yeah, which is speaker in this case. You say innani, inni. So it is two variations. Take note of this. Innani, put double nun, or you can put tashdid here. Inni, it becomes then we also have nahun, na, innana, inna. It is two variations. I just wanted to look at all these attachments, this tamayun. They also carry the same effect. Remember, we said before that, we said this mubtada becomes mansub. So all these attachments with inna, they also become mansub. They carry the same effect. So there is the same analysis. There is also mansub. Let's look at the sisters of inna, akhawatu inna. So why do we call them sisters of inna? It's because they act the same as inna. They also become mansubun when they also changes the mubtada into mansubun when they are effected into a sentence. Let's look at the examples. La'ala, hope. Later, ta'ana is lakinna, but anna, that. So if you put any one of these into a jumla ismiya, remember a nominal sentence, anything that begins with a noun, they change the, let's look at this, they change the mubtada into ismul la'ala in this case, and also changes maf'ul into mansubun, which is nominative case. La'ala al-imtihana na sahlun. So al-imtihana sahlun, the effect here of la'ala is the change of al-imtihanu into al-imtihana. Okay, so sahlun, it becomes also khabarul la'ala. Remember, mubtada becomes ismu la'ala. Right. Interrogative. Let's look at or. So interrogative means there's questioning. So in this case means or. Let's look at how it's used. Amasjidun hadha am baytun. So if you want to ask between two things or between two choices, is this a house or a masjid? You use two distinct particles. One of it is the questioning particle, which is hamza, and the second one is which differentiate the choices. So the first thing is you need to bring the first choice soon after the hamza istifhamia or the questioning particle. Then the second choice comes after right. For example, again, Amina Limania and. So if you want to ask someone, are you from Germany or France? So Amina Limania and Amin Iran's. So is in France. So if you want to ask whether it's Germany or France, you can look at this. Amin. So the first one comes there, then anta comes after the first choice. Let's look at this analysis. First choice, you put, it comes after particle of questioning, and the second choice comes after Okay, this is wrong. As you can see, first choice is coming after anta, which is wrong. So let's look at this one. Atabibun anta am mudarisun. So you can see it's a very clear, straightforward concept. You bring Hamza to Wasl, Hamza to Istifhamiyya, which is questioning particle, then first choice, then then second choice. You can also use aw in this case when there is no interrogation. For example, Samiyatun Mudarisa aw Mudira. So you can, this is I heard the teacher or the principal. There is no interrogation, like no one is questioning anyone here, but you're just saying I heard the teacher or the principal. So you can use aw, not am. There are various examples in the Quran that you can also have a look at that. You can also read in the understand. Let's look at this one, the last one. Antum أضللتم عبادي هؤلاء أم هم ضلوا. Okay. Hum. So we have got antum. Yeah, you can also use domir because if you look at that, you can also domir antum and here domir hum. There are two choices that we have. So you can also use domir in this case. So you can have a look at some of these examples. Let's look at Lisa. He is not, or it is not. Lisa is a verb. Lisa is a verb. It is an incomplete verb of naqis. When we say it's incomplete, we call it yalun naqis, incomplete verb. So actually, it does not convey a complete meaning. That's why we're saying it's incomplete. You cannot just say laisa. What does that mean? It's not what. It is not what. So you need, it also requires news to complete this verb. So we call it habarun or predicate, complete its meaning. Okay. So let's have a look at how Lisa can be used. First, we have to look at our original sentence from Jumla Ismiya, which is a nominal sentence. Let's take note of that. Al-Kitabu, remember, it's marfu'un bidhamma, which is the original state of nominal sentence. Al-Kitabu jadidun. This is mubtada. This is khabarun. This is the structure of a nominal sentence. Now we bring in this fi'l naqisun, which is laisa. Laisa al-kitabu, let's look at that, bi jadidin. So we have two things that are happening here. The coming in of harf jar, which is ba, in this case, becomes bi jadidin. So the book is not new, still it changes the mubtada, which we said al-kitab in this case, is still marfu'un, but it's now it's no longer mubtada, it's now ismu laisa. And this habaru it has changed, it's now habaru laisa. But let's look at what is happening to ba here with the effect of p. It has changed jadidun into jadidin. Why? Because this is harf jar. So it changes anything that comes after harf jar becomes majrurun. So it also is now a short sentence or shub jumla. Shubu jumla. So we need to understand that. There's other way of effecting laisa into a sentence. Let's look at this. Laisa al-kitab jadidan. Now it's no longer jadidin. Jadidin, it was jadidin because of the effect of ba. But because we removed ba here, it becomes jadidan. So it means laisa al-naqis actually affects the khabaru laisa into mansubun. So this is kind of an opposite of inna, because inna we said it affects the mubtada into mansubun, but here we now see laisa now affecting the habarun into mansubun. So it's kind of the awake opposite. So the opposite of inna wa la'ala wa ifwatuha is laisa. So let's look at that. Laisa al-kitabu jadidan. Okay, so it becomes ismu laisa and habaru laisa. So it's either you can do with the bar or you can not do the bar. If you don't bring in a bar here, it means you have to make habaru laisa mansubun. Like we did in inna, we conjugated inna with the damair. We can also do the same conjugation for laisa. We can also do the same if we, let's look at how it is suffixed. Then before that, we can still look at Medinah book 2. some of the concepts that we've already looked at. Then we'll come back to Liza again. But let's look at Medinah Book 2 and see if we can see some of these concepts that we have already covered in there and see what's happening here in there and out. Let's look at Adars Awal, which is the first lesson, the conversation between Hashim and Madaris. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hashim said, كيف حالك يا أستاذ؟ لا لك بخير. الحمد لله. وكيف حالك أنت يا هاشم? So Hashim says, how are you? How are you, oh Ustad? I hope you are fine. I hope you are fine. لعلك بخير. Alhamdulillah, he says, Alhamdulillah. How are you, oh Hashim? أنا أحبك كثيرا يا هاشم. إنك طالب ذكي ومجتهد وذو خلق. أمن باكستان أنت أم من الهند يا هاشم. So the teacher responds and say, I love you so much, oh Hashim. Indeed, you are a very intelligent student, hardworking, and good manners. You have good manners. Are you from Pakistan or from India or Hashim? Inni min Hind. Indeed, I'm from India. وزميلك الذي خرج معه لنا من فصل هو أيضا من الهند. So the teacher asked, and your friend who went out with you now from the class, is he also from India? لا إنه من Pakistan. So no, indeed he is from Pakistan. And the teacher says, إن سعادتك جميلة يا هاشم. أمن اليابان here? So he says, the teacher says, indeed your watch is very beautiful, oh Hashim. Is it from Japan? Hashim, لا إنها من الهند. No, it is from India. أخالية هي أم رخيص? Is it expensive or cheap? إنها راخصة جدا. إنها بمئة ربعات فقط. So it's very cheap. It's only 100 rubu only. كم أخا لك يا هاشم? How many brothers you have? لي ثلاثة إخوات. I have 3 brothers. أطلابهم? Are they students? لا إنهم تجار. They are businessmen. وكم أختا لك? How many sisters do you have? لي 4 أخوات. I have 4 sisters. أفي الهند هن الآن? Are they in India now? لا إنهن هنا من مدينة المنورة مع أبي وأمي. No, they're indeed in Medina, the city, with my mother, with my father, and my mother. الطالبات هن. Are they students? لا إنهن مدرسات مدرسات الثانوي. No, they are in the secondary school. So this is the conversation. Can you pick on some of the concepts that we have already covered? I'm sure by now you've already noted some of the concepts that we covered. We covered la'ala, which is sister to inna. inna wa akhawatuha la'alla. When we said, when la'alla comes in the jumla, remember inna was conjugated with the various, with dama'ir. Also, because la'alla is sister to inna, it's also conjugated with dama'ir. That's why we see here la'allaka khair. I hope you, when we use qaf, this is qaf mukhatab of qaf of the second person. So here, this is how it is used. La'alla. And we said this qaf is ismu la'alla. And بخير habarun la'alla. We also looked at inna, as we said, inna or la'alla, ikhwatu inna. Innaka, this is damir attached to inna, becomes innaka. So it's inna, harf tawkid, or qaf, which is damir, which has been turned into ismu inna wa talibin inna. Okay, so we also have here some of the concepts we are going to look them, inshallah. We also looked at this concept, amin bakstana anta amin al-hindi. So the use of we said brings in two choices. The one that comes after the first particle, hamzatu istifhamiyya, which is the particle of questioning. When you bring this hamza, this particle hamza, it means this sentence is an interrogative sentence. Why? That's why we do have a question mark here. So there are two choices. The first choice is Pakistan, and the second choice is the Hindi. So we have two choices, Pakistan and the Hindi. I hope you understand how we can use that. Innani, innani, wa inni. So we remember the two variations that we say. We can have, they represent anna. The person who's speaking can say inni or innani. So there are two variations there. We looked at that in our previous explanations. Okay. We also looked at innahu. So most of these are more conjunctions for domain. But let's look at this one. This is a direct through the use of inna in a jumla ismiya, inna sa'ataka. So look at that, how it is used, which is in a jumla ismiya. So you can also have a look at quite a number of the concepts. I think you can highlight and underline some of the concepts that we highlighted. In our next lesson, we'll be looking at general look at how questions are asked in the Medinah book 2. They are very easy. The concepts are so flowing that you can follow. For now, we have to end here. In next class, we're going to look more in detail grammatical concepts, Medinah book 2. Jazakallahu khairan. Alhamdulillah. I'll meet you in the next class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.